Hello and welcome to TV9 Digital. I am Abhijit Singh Bhamra. All eyes were on the Indian women's hockey team in the semi-final game against Argentina, who were not just playing for a spot in the final, but also chasing history. That was not to be, unfortunately, as they go down 2-1 in a close match in Tokyo. And to discuss more on the game, about where did India go wrong, I have with me TV9 Digital Sports Editor Sandeep Mishra. Sandeep, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
After taking an early lead, 1-0, we all were so excited, elated in the newsroom. What just went wrong, and how did Argentina came back? Did we allow them to, or was India just poor after that first goal?
I think the kind of energy you saw from India in the first and the second quarter, and there were opportunities. It wasn't that there weren't opportunities. Of course, you may probably say we got less PCs or something and they got more PCs. But let's not take the match towards the penalty corner. Just look at the midfield, look at the forward line, look at the defense. I think we were there. You know, at any point in the match, it was either 50-50 or 60-40 for either of the teams. So both teams had the scoring opportunities. I do believe that at a scoreline of 2-1, when Argentina was leading, India had ample opportunities to equalize 2-2. And let me tell you one thing, that if we probably would have done a fourth quarter 2-2, for example, the match would have anyway gone to a shootout. And I think India would have had the edge. Number one, the goalkeeper. Number two, Rani, Vandana. These are all ball players. I think that's exactly what Argentina was afraid of. They understand that skill is required for a shootout. It's not like old times where you take a stroke and you need power and strength and all of that. But for this, you actually need a decent amount of skill. If we would have just stretched it, I think we would have probably clinched it. So for me, it's about history just slipping out. You would have made it. You would have been the first women's team in the country to, you know, basically to go there and play an Olympic final, which is like a massive thing. But still, this is a very creditable effort.
Sometimes in sports, Sandeep, you do take into account the effort, but at the end of the day, results do matter. And both the men's and the women's team just had faltered. Like you said, that they were about to create history, but now we'll be chasing bronze medal match. But we'll be talking about the rest of the results as well. Let's talk about the wrestler, Dahiya. I mean, like, he has just assured India of a medal, and one just hopes that he goes on in the final. Once again, the challenge is huge, but today, what a performance from him.
I mean, these are the kind of results, you know, that actually bring you immense amount of happiness. I mean, for somebody who was down and out, I mean, you saw he was completely gone, and then he comes back, and then he fights back, and he takes the whole match, you know. I think Ravi's entry into a final is not simply an entry. It's also a large step by a sporting fraternity that has been constantly knocking on the doors in terms of wrestling and boxing. Of course, you can always say that a particular boxing or a boxer is probably disappointing in terms of reaching a pinnacle. I think wrestling has been, you know, right on the edge. They have the medals before. They are probably going to clinch it now. And I just hope he takes a gold. Of course, you know, you just can't discount the other wrestler out there. But if he takes a gold, it's going to be a massively large step. You know, you need a catalyst now. It's time. Bindra became a catalyst. So many people came, you know. They picked up their silver. Sushil silver was a catalyst for wrestling. But I think Ravi's gold will probably take the sport to a very different level. Whether it is in terms of participation or whether it is in terms of Haryana pushing more wrestlers through or even coaching skills. I think this is... the gold is more than a milestone in terms of wrestling for us.
Just the catalyst that the sport might just require, but also very quickly on today's bout, when he was down by 7-9 and to just win that game from that position, he knew that he had to do that. Otherwise, he won by VFA. So he knew he had to do that, and he eventually did it. So what kind of confidence will he carry, especially in the final, when he now knows what he is capable of?
When you see those 9 points against you, I mean, either you completely dismiss it off and you completely go out of the bout, but for somebody to come back, you know, show that steel. You know, these are the bouts. It's not. Again, we've spoken about this so many times. It's just not about the winning and the losing part. It's about showing steel at the right time. You can equate it with shooting, equate it with any sport, equate it with the men's hockey or women's hockey. But this guy showed steel at the right time. I think in that way, I think you can probably try and take it to women's boxing, where we faltered, but she showed a lot of spunk today.
Yes, yes.
I think even she deserves a lot of credit for what she put up.
Yeah, and also wrestler Dahiya is not the only one we'll talk about here. Now, yes, he has emulated the likes of Sushil Kumar into the final, and all the country would love to see that color of medal which Sushil Kumar won from silver to gold. But also we need to talk about Deepak Punia. I mean, like, tremendous bout, 86 kg category. As the weight category increases, the level of toughness also increases. But yeah, he was outclassed in the semi-final, but he himself had a very good run. And not to forget that he is a contender for a bronze medal match.
I think he needs that bronze now.
Yeah.
You know, because it's not only, again, we speak about confidence, we speak about, you know, building ourselves up in particular bouts. You could see that there was a huge amount of difference between him and the opponent.
Yeah.
You know,
he's just 22 years.
Even technically, he wasn't there.
Yes.
You know, even in strength, he wasn't there. Even the positioning, which is so crucial for wrestling, he still wasn't there. But to reach a level and then still keep standing to fight for a bronze, I think if he clinches a bronze, it's going to help him. It's going to take him probably to a very different level.
Yeah.
You know, we talk about gold, silver and bronze. I think if you're not picking up a gold, for example, you're not there, picking up these medals also give a lot of fillip to the sport.
Yes.
I think we sometimes forget. We are not China and America, you know,
yes,
where the bronze is probably kept on the side and you don't remember. But in our country, at least at this moment of time, a bronze medal is precious.
Well, a bronze medal, one more bronze medal was assured, and now today it is confirmed that boxer Lovlina Borgohain will come back to the country with that bronze medal. A good run for the boxer, especially from the boxing contingent. What all expectations were there from the likes of Amit Fangal and others. Now here's this girl from Golaghat, Assam, comes up, no one has heard about her, and then gives you a bronze. What a tremendous achievement.
I think the bout was super.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, you could always say that the punches were landing from the Turkish opponent. She was faster.
Yeah.
Even if you can probably equate a lot of other things at the same level, but she was faster. In boxing, speed counts hugely when you're throwing punches, when you're getting those hooks in, when the left hook comes in, there's a right hook. All of that was happening. I think she probably got bewildered a little in the first round.
Also the mind games which the opponent was playing.
Yeah, and she went into the clinch, which I thought was perfect, you know, because you are not able to take the speed. So what do? You get into a clinch. But I think there is this massive future for her. If she can just not think that this bronze is probably the last of what she can achieve, if she can keep pushing herself, if the regimen can triple. I still remember this quote from Carl Lewis, you know, from his first Olympics. He said that the only thing that in front of me was that if I wanted to take my gold count to 8 or 12 or wherever he wants to take it, he said I had to double up and triple up my regimen, my training. I think that's exactly where she stands now.
Well, superstar Lovlina is likely to get a massive welcome when she comes back to the country, but there's also a superstar in the making in the form of javelin thrower. Neeraj Chopra, everyone is talking about him, and today he just stunned one and all with a throw of 86.65 meters. Now that's massive. He has topped the charts in Pool A. There is a Pakistan opponent in Pool B who has topped. So are we looking at an India versus Pakistan contest over here? Would you like to share your thoughts on what transpired in the javelin department today?
I think the best thing is probably to throw up some numbers. 88.07 is probably his highest of the season, 2021. I think it was at the Indian GP. You got to look at a number 86.65, which was today. I think from that number onwards, you need to measure the final. Don't go by what he threw today. Don't go by what Vetter did, and don't even go by what the Pakistan javelin throw did. You know, in the qualifying numbers, Neeraj is at number 1, Vetter is there, and the Pakistan javelin throw is at number 3. Vetter is right in the middle. Yeah. So even Vetter must be thinking, and you know, hey, where am I? You know, it's
Why
like
is
that.
No one talking about me?
But this final is going to be very different.
Yeah.
This is, you go into history of the javelin, you go into the last 3 Olympics, 4 Olympics, 5 Olympics, you will see 88, 89, 90. Probably somewhere even 87, 88 as the top 3 throws, top 4 throws, top 5 throws. I think that's where Chopra has a massive chance.
Right.
If he can, and it's about which number you get. I really believe that Chopra should get from 1 to 4. If he can get from 1 to 4 where he is in the queue to throw, I think if he's the 3rd or the 4th, he will derive a lot of confidence from the first two guys who are throwing. And if he can get to 88, 89, that will set the pace. Javelin, a lot of people forget, is like the 5,000, 10,000. You need to set a pace. And then you at least get 6 throws in which you can double up.
Sandeep, you're talking about numbers. We have a few numbers on the screen. You can see Vetter over there right at the top. Then you have Masin next. And then Walcott with 89.17. Neeraj Chopra right at the bottom, 88.07. And all of India would be hoping that the results, and Walcott is out of contention already. Yep. So you have Neeraj Chopra. Is there, I've asked you this question over and over again, is there a chance? I wouldn't say a chance. Can he do it?
Yeah, I mean, you just take Vetter out of the equation, okay, because he's capable of doing 90. So his second, third, fourth, fifth probably would be 91, yeah, 92, which means that the gold is out. So basically everybody's going to fight for silver and bronze, unless Vetter does something which is unlike him, you know, because he's a massively big thrower when he comes into a final. Always, he's a guy who performs at the right time. Neeraj needs to actually equate himself with him. Yeah, I think that is what the Olympics are all about. You know, that if you are standing there and you've got Vetter in front, then what do you think? That I'm as good as him? Yeah. Yeah. You cannot think that I'm going to be fighting for silver and bronze. I think this is the right time for Neeraj to unleash a 90.
His potential.
If he can do a 90, the medal is home. Right. That much is guaranteed. Unless there is an extraordinary performance coming from somebody else, which in a final normally doesn't happen. Mm-hmm. So Chopra is right there. He has all the opportunity with him. He has the momentum with him because he's number one in the qualifying. Mm-hmm. When you look at the qualifying chart, you feel good, you feel confident that, hey, I'm on the top. Yeah. And that if he can take in on 7th, and he does it, that would be brilliant.
Well, India so far has 4 medals to their tally. Will Neeraj Chopra be able to add? But do not forget that there is still a couple of hockey games left, one for the men's team and one for the women's team who will be fighting for bronze. But overall, all eyes will be on Neeraj Chopra as to whether can he just, like Sandeep said, push himself and win that gold medal or medal for the country in the coming days. Thanks a lot, Sandeep, for your time and inputs, and we are looking forward to the same. That's all what we have for you in this special edition of Target Tokyo. For news and updates from India and around the world, keep watching TV9 Digital. Thanks a lot for watching.